Does Universal have plans to expand their Volcano Bay water theme park in the near future? And if they do, what kind of attractions would they add? Some may argue that it is simply too early to speculate since they have recently opened. However, evidence exists that leads us to why we are speculating that there may be some kind of expansion in the near future. We wanted to create this video to discuss the possibility of Universal actually looking to expand Volcano Bay. First, we wanted to remind you that this is entirely speculation, and of course we have no idea what Universal is really going to do and what is up their sleeve at the moment, but what we do know is that Universal has extra land to work with right now that is next to Volcano Bay, and why not speculate? I feel like many people find these videos very interesting, and what we predict might actually come true. With that said, when looking at a satellite view of Volcano Bay from above, it's pretty landlocked. You have I-4 obviously on one side of it, and then you have on the other side Turkey Lake Road with a residential area beside it. When looking at this area, if Universal wanted to expand Volcano Bay, they would have to actually use the remaining space that is between I-4 and Turkey Lake Road. You may be wondering what space we're talking about. I'm actually talking about the area where all of the construction equipment still sits. That's right, they actually have a fairly large space where all of their construction equipment is currently sitting and the space is undeveloped. In regards to expanding the space, they wouldn't really be able to go beyond it as there just isn't really anywhere else to expand the park. So with this little space, they definitely should use it, in my opinion, to expand the park, as the park isn't really that big as it is. They also might want to consider demolishing the blue building that actually sits to the very edge of this construction area, and from what I know, it isn't actually a finished building on the inside, although it does look finished on the outside. So from what I know, it was actually constructed as a warehouse to store construction equipment and other things for Volcano Bay during that construction process. So maybe when all of the construction for the park is entirely finished, they probably will plan on demolishing this building, but we don't really know exactly what they plan on doing with it as of right now, so I'll kind of leave that up in the air. Now if they do demolish it though, that will clear up a good amount of space that will enable them to expand the park further. Something is obviously going to be built where all of the construction equipment is stored, and we can only speculate, so let's get started. After speaking with several individuals that work for Universal, they told me that a potential option would be an employee parking garage or some kind of parking lot on that site where all the construction equipment sits, and that it would be used for employee parking. But let's be real, if Volcano Bay wants to keep the guests coming back year after year, let's even go on to say maybe a decade or decade after decade, they pretty much have to add at least a few more attractions at some point in the future. The park is already fairly small in size and is on the low capacity side, as I have noticed that the park continues to become closed or reaches full capacity and cannot accommodate extra guests. So this is why I am bringing up the question that why would they want to waste the space on an employee parking garage when they could just build an employee parking garage off-site and shuttle them over to the park, which is sort of what they're doing right now with guests and employees. Where they have them park in the Universal garage and have them take a bus over. They already shuttle over both guests and the Waturi team members, so I'm sure it wouldn't be that big of a deal if they kept it this way. It's a slight inconvenience, but it's definitely not the end of the world. But the problem is, they just can't build new rides off-site like they can do with an employee parking garage or lot. I guess what I'm trying to argue here is that the space is very valuable and that they should definitely try to get the most out of it, such as building new attractions that they can market in the future to bring more guests into the park. I could also imagine them building a small parking garage for a limited number of team members, but a majority of them will probably be asked to park off-site, which makes more sense. I say a small parking garage because they already are kind of tight on space, and a garage has multiple levels, so if they do want to have some kind of parking, it may make sense to have a small parking garage. Maybe they could build a small one where that blue building currently sits and have it just be a few stories tall so it doesn't take away from the Volcano Bay background and landscape that the guests notice while at the park. I mentioned multiple times that it would make the most sense for them to put attractions there, but what attractions would they add? I would be speculating some family rides or some new family wrapped slides that are unique and also have high capacity rates. I wouldn't say that they would add these new slides right away. They may wait to completely finish up all of the Volcano Bay construction and fix the little problems that they have, and then later on when they are completed with all of their construction, then they might add a slide or two and keep it up every few years to keep the guests interested over time. However, I'd say as soon as maybe late 2017 or possibly early 2018, we may see some kind of construction or some kind of announcement related to an expansion for Volcano Bay, including some new slides. One of the rumored expansions is a mammoth water coaster, and having only the Krakatoa aqua coaster, it would make sense that they would want to add an additional aqua coaster of some sort, especially because of the long lines and high demand for Krakatoa. After all, it is a known fact that Universal has already filed for a permit to expand this park, so it is very possible that they will put something in the space, and I would definitely like seeing a new type of water coaster added to Volcano Bay. Who knows, maybe they will add some new slides that have never been created before and add some truly innovative water rides, maybe a new concept that will truly blow us away. This is a very well possibility with all of the new advancements that may happen in future years. We could see some new things that just haven't been done before in the world of water parks, so we will definitely have to keep our eyes open and see what happens in the near future. If you have any ideas, let us know. It would be definitely cool to share ideas with others, and I want you guys to definitely be involved with this video. And so if you have any speculations as well, or you think you might have an idea of what they would add in the future, be sure to leave a comment. We'd love to see what you have to say and contribute to the conversation. Anyways, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this rumored Volcano Bay expansion. My friend made an awesome parody on Volcano Bay, so make sure to check out Jake's Volcano Bay parody, where he makes some funny comments about the park, and here is a sneak peek.
Conveniently located 10 feet away from Interstate 4 and right next to Turkey Lake Road, you'll be immersed in a wonderful Hawaiian paradise. We also have a bunch of really cool light features that don't actually work. Hear that noise? That's relaxation calling your name. This looks really cool, doesn't it? Too bad we didn't actually build it. And when day turns into night, you have to leave the park because we close at 8 p.m. Volcano Bay, water theme park, only at Universal Orlando Resort.
I will be putting a link in the description for the full video so that you guys can check it out. Additionally, as soon as we get some updates on this rumored expansion and whether or not they're actually going to be expanding to add attractions or just have backstage employee areas, stay tuned. You never know what might happen.